Hello gentlemen, today I'm going to break down some blitzes that are working post-patch because the title update did change how the game plays. You can't use those drag out contain blitzes anymore, and the offensive line does block slightly differently. So I'll show you some blitzes that I've been using post-patch that are working very effectively. The first blitz I'm going to go over is going to be out of Dime 3-2, otherwise known as Dollar. So I'll post all of the playbooks on the screen right now that have this formation, and the play we're going to go over is going to be DB Fire 2, which is an oldie. And then for your coaching adjustments, we're going to make sure we're on auto alignment on base. So the blitz setup is very simple. All we're going to do is show blitz, so Y or triangle, and then RB. And then we're going to press, Y or triangle, left stick down. That's going to widen that split of the right of screen slot cornerback and back off those safeties a little bit. We're then going to crash the defensive line up, D-pad left, right stick up, or slant outside, and we're set up. So one thing I want you to notice is that we have a defensive end that has the crash out angle and a defensive end that is kind of crashed down. Usually it's going to be the defensive end on the tight end side that does not get the crash up angle. So you want to use the linebacker on the crash up angle defensive end. So that's on the left. We're going to see that he's usually going to be the guy that comes in free. And this can be done as a 4-man as well. I'll show you that in a second. But overall, it's pretty consistent. Sometimes he'll get picked up, sometimes he won't. In this case, he kind of comes in both times. He did technically get picked up the first time, but he still applied really good pressure. There he is. And then if you want to send this as a 4-man blitz, you're going to drop the slot cornerback that is on the tight end side in this case into coverage. Remember, it's the defensive end that's on the outward angle that is going to come in clean. So you don't want to drop the slot cornerback that's on the same side as him. So we're going to zone or man up that slot cornerback on the right. Maybe just man up these two guys. And then this can still come in pretty much the same way. So I'll do it again. So just like this. There's the pressure. The last thing I want to say about this blitz is when you set it up like this, you are at risk on the ISO side against bunch of getting beat from the ISO receiver. So what I would recommend doing is backing this guy off manually. If you're facing gun bunch, that is technically optional, but I would say that's going to help you in a lot of cases, having him backed off. You could also do scissor coverage over there. You could just do like man up the safety to that receiver, man up that cornerback to the running back, and then maybe change things up a little bit like this. So this is going to be a more advanced coverage show, but this is going to be really good. It's going to be baity if they send their running back out on a flat and they see the slot cornerback blitzing. They might just try to throw him immediately. And this guy's either going to make the tackle or he's going to get a pick. Next up, we have the defensive tackle A-gap blitz out of 4-3, even 6-1. So here's all the playbooks that have 6-1. I would recommend Vikings or Raiders. Both are very good playbooks with other good formations in it as well. And then for your personnel, you do want to make sure your defensive tackles have enough speed. You might have to sub in defensive ends to get that speed. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll go ahead and put Greenlaw at defensive end. And I'll put Nick Bosa here at defensive tackle. Now you would probably want to do it for both of them. I'm just going to do the left side one because that's the only one I'm going to use for the video. But just make sure anywhere around 80 speed is enough. And then let's make sure we have auto alignment on base. Quick announcement before I show you the blitz setup. If you guys are a member of acemadden.com, be on the lookout for a 6-1 update later on tonight. That's going to be November 22nd, so if you're watching this later, it's probably already live, but it's going to include a new blitz setup that's very good post-patch, and then some coverage shells that can help you shut down bunch and trips tight end. And then if you're not a member, make sure to go sign up. I'll put the link in the description as well as the comment section. You can use code COFFIN for 25% off on your membership. You'll gain access to everything we have for both Madden 25 and College Football 25. Okay, so the play I'm going to demonstrate with is going to be cover 4 quarters, but you can technically do it with really any of these plays out of 4-3, even 6-1. So let's go ahead and come out and cover 4 quarters. This is a match defense. If you want to turn that off, just shade your coverage down or up. I'll go ahead and just shade it down. So it's now a cover 4 drop. So what you're going to do is shift your defensive line towards the tight end. So D-pad left, tight end's on the right, so left stick right. We're going to crash the defensive line towards the tight end, or in the direction that we just shifted. D-pad left, right stick right. And then we're going to take our user, which is this middle linebacker, and you're going to hover right here. And once you're down here, typically you can use your left stick and hold it down without getting encroachment or offsides. So hold it down at about 7 o'clock here. You can hold your right trigger or left trigger as well. You're going to engage with the center, and it's typically not going to be that guy that comes in. Typically going to be the defensive tackle that we're right next to. So do it again. There's the pressure. So I'll do it a few more times as well as flip the play just to show you it's going to work on both sides. But again, just kind of like the important thing is coming up to the line of scrimmage slowly like this. That way you can hold your left stick down. So like right now I'm holding my left stick down 7 o'clock and he's not crossing over for an offsides or an encroachment. That's the important thing to do. I will say that sometimes I have stick drift, so that's why he's stepping up in the pocket. Sometimes what will happen is you'll bump into your defensive tackle and he'll kind of like bounce back 5 yards. And that's, obviously not ideal because then it won't come in. But that's where practice comes in. It's like right there, I did it right. Nick Bosa is not like the absolute fastest defensive end, so won't look the best with him. I would say also aim for guys that are a bit skinnier. Guys that are like too bulky don't A-gap nearly as well. I think Nick Bosa is like 265 pounds, which is about the heaviest I would go. Once you start getting into like the 280s and definitely 300s, they're too fat for this to work effectively. Right there, I didn't get a good engage, but you guys kind of get the point. And then just to show you it'll work on the other side as well. Shift towards the tight end, crash towards the tight end. Take your user, hover right here by the center. And now we're going to hold the left stick down at about 5 o'clock. Hold the right trigger or left trigger, and then snap. You're going to see even though Hargrave is a big boy, he still comes through the gap. Next, we have a blitz out of 3-3 odd, which was one of the best formations before the patch, and it's still one of the best formations in the game after the patch. So here's all the playbooks that have 3-3 odd. And again, I would recommend the Vikings playbook. I think it's overall the best playbook in the game. It has some of the best formations to use. So 3-3 odd, you do want to have fast linebackers because we're going to be using a looping linebacker. Make sure we're on auto alignment on base. And then the play call is going to be LB cross 3, show 2. And the setup for this blitz is extremely easy. You only have one step, and that's to zone out the linebacker that's on the same side as the yellow safety. So it's this safety right here. He's on the left. You're going to user this linebacker, just zone him out, and that's all you have to do. Now, he isn't going to come in every single time. I'd say he's better when he's looping into the right side gap, but I'll run it a few times just to show you. It is consistent, and you really can't complain about a free rusher when you're sending 4, especially when you don't have to do much to achieve it. You just have one step. Left guard almost got him that time. And I will say the pass protection for this is kind of simple, but a lot of people don't know it. So you're going to get a lot of sacks with this one. And then here's what the blitz looks like flipped. So remember, find your yellow safety and then user the linebacker that's on the same side. So we're going to be using the right of screen linebacker now. Snap it. He almost got picked up there. And I'll show you what it looks like against a blocked running back as well. So let's just say they block a running back. You're going to see that he is going to pick him up pretty nicely, but you can get a good shed. So it's kind of hard to like be upset about a running back picking him up. It's 4v6. So the offense is at a pretty big disadvantage. Do it again. Still good pressure. And we have contains on the outside. So here's an optional step you can do to improve your run defense. If you're a little bit worried about a shotgun run, D-pad left, left stick down, you can still run this blitz just as intended with a pinch defensive line. Anyways, that's it for the video. I just wanted to give you guys some blitz setups that work post-patch because I know a lot of you are looking for a new defense. So hopefully this helps you guys out. Drop a like if it did. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. And then if you want to start winning more games, go to acemadden.com and become a member. You'll gain access to every piece of content that we have on the site. See you guys in the next one.